Hello students, I welcome you all to this YouTube channel Omkar English Classes, and in this video I am going to explain the second chapter of the book Snapshots for class 11th. The chapter name is The Address by Marga Minko. This story has three parts. The video will have three parts and this is part 1. So students, keep watching the videos carefully and completely and answer the questions given at the end of the video. Let's start the video. So in this explanation of the story, I introduce the story to you. This story is about the human predicament that follows the pre-war and post-war period. Mrs. S, who was a Jew, was a rich lady, whereas Mrs. Dorling was a non-Jew. The girl, daughter of Mrs. S, had lost her house and her mother during the war, and now she had decided to come back to take her possessions from Mrs. Dorling, an acquaintance whose address was given by her mother years ago. When she reached the house, the women treated her with a cold reception and didn't let her into the house. She decided to go back anyway, and then she met her daughter, who let her in and told her to wait inside. When she saw all the possessions in front of her, she couldn't connect with them and decided to leave the house. Let's start the explanation. This story is a poignant account of a daughter who goes in search of her mother's belongings after the war in Holland. When she finds them, the objects evoke memories of her earlier life. However, she decides to leave them all behind and resolves to move on. So students, this is a very pathetic account of pre-war and post-war. Do you still know me? Let's start the story. Do you still know me? Who asked this? I asked. I means narrator. Narrator reached the house of Mrs. Dorling, knocked the door. She opens the door and the narrator asks, do you still know me? The woman asked, do you still know me? The woman looked at me searchingly. She had opened the door a chink. She opened the door minimum. I came closer and stood on the step. So narrator goes closer and stood on the step and say, no, I don't know you. I am Mrs. S' daughter. So the daughter introduces herself to that lady. I am Mrs. S' daughter. She held her hand on the door as though she wanted to prevent it opening any further. It seems that the lady did not want to open the door completely. Her face gave absolutely no sign of recognition. She kept staring at me in silence. Perhaps I was mistaken. I thought perhaps it is not her. I had seen her only once, fleetingly, and that was years ago. It was most probable that I had rung the wrong bell. The woman let go of the door and stepped to the side. She was wearing my mother's green knitted cardigan. This is very important point. The wooden buttons were rather pale from washing. She saw that I was looking at the cardigan and half hid herself again behind the door. But I knew now that I was right. Well, you know my mother? I asked. Have you come back? Said the woman. I thought that no one had come back. Only me. So she said that she was Mrs. S's daughter. The woman had held the door tightly as she didn't want her to enter the house. She kept staring at the protagonist, at the narrator, though she couldn't recognize her. The protagonist thought maybe she had come to the wrong house. The narrator thought that she reached the wrong house. She had seen the woman only for a short time years ago. The woman who answered the door stepped aside and let go of the door. The protagonist recognized her mother's green knitted cardigan that the woman was wearing. The wooden buttons had become pale because of washing again and again. The woman noticed the protagonist looking at the cardigan. She hid behind the door. Now, the protagonist knew she had come to the right house. So she asked the woman about her mother. You know my mother? The woman asked her if she had come back. She replied only to her and no one else came with her. Only I have come back. A door opened and closed in the passage behind her. A musty smell emerged. I regret I cannot do anything for you. I have come here especially on the train. I wanted to talk to you for a moment. It is not convenient for me now, said the woman. I can't see you. Another time. She nodded and cautiously closed the door, as though no one inside the house should be disturbed. I stood where I was on the step. The curtain in front of the bay window moved. Someone stared at me and would then have asked what I wanted. Oh, nothing, the woman would have said. It was nothing. I looked at the nameplate again. Darling, it said, in black letters on white enamel, and on the jam a bit higher, the number 46. As I walked slowly back to the station, I thought about my mother, who had given me the address years ago. It had been in the first half of the war. I was home for a few days and it struck me immediately that something or other about the rooms had changed. I missed various things. My mother was surprised. I should have noticed so quickly. Then she told me about Mrs. Darling. So, a stale smell. A door opened and closed in the passage behind her. Mrs. Darling closed the door behind her. Behind herself, a musty smell emerged. I regret I cannot do anything for you. मैं अब तुम्हारे लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकती. Okay, ma'am, I have come here especially on the train. I want to talk to you for a moment. No, it is not convenient for me. Another time. I can't see you now. She nodded cautiously. She closed the door so that no one inside may be disturbed. अंदर जो लोग बैठे हैं वो डिस्टर्ब ना हो, इस तरीके से उसने गर्दन हिलाई. I stood where I was on the step. नरेटर वहीं खड़ी रही. कर्टेन विंडो वाला खुला. किसी ने उस कर्टेन से मुझे देखा. काश के पूछा होता कि मैं क्या चाहती. और नथिंग, बट कुछ नहीं. उस औरत ने कहा होता कुछ नहीं. मैं कहती मुझे क्या चाहिए और वो कहती कुछ नहीं. इट वॉज नथिंग. आई लुक्ड एट द नेम प्लेट. फिर से नेम प्लेट पे देखा नरेटर ने. उस पे लिखा हुआ था डॉर्लिंग. ब्लैक लेटर्स में व्हाइट एनेमल पेंट के ऊपर, एंड ऑन द जैम्प और चौखट के पास में अ बिट हायर, थोड़ा सा ऊंचा नंबर लिखा हुआ था, नंबर 46। धीरे धीरे स्टेशन पहुंची ये नरेटर। इसने अपनी मदर के बारे में सोचा। अब अभी जाते हुए, स्टेशन जाते हुए सोच रही है कि मेरी मदर ने मुझे एड्रेस बहुत साल पहले दिया था। ये वो सब सोच रही है। ये उस समय की बात है जब मेरी मदर ने एड्रेस दिया, जब मैंने आर्मी ज्वाइन किया था, वर्ल्ड वॉर को ज्वाइन किया था, और उसके फर्स्ट हाफ में मैं अपने घर आई थी। आई वॉज होम फॉर अ फ्यू डेज, और स्ट्रक मी इमीडिएटली दैट समथिंग और अदर अबाउट द रूम्स हैड चेंज्ड। घर आते ही उसको पता लगे कि रूम में कुछ चेंज हुआ है। बहुत चीजें थी जो उसको याद थी, उसने मिस किया बहुत चीजों को। उसकी मदर भी सरप्राइज हो गई कि बहुत जल्दी नोटिस कर लेती है लड़की घर में से एक चीज गायब हुई है। तब उसकी मदर ने उसको मिसेस डॉर्लिंग के बारे में बताया था कि कौन मिसेस डॉर्लिंग है और क्या क्या चीजें यहाँ से वहां पर गई हैं। I had never heard of her, but apparently she was an old acquaintance of my mother. Narrator is saying that she did not know Mrs. Dorling, but Mrs. Dorling was an old acquaintance of her mother, whom she hadn't seen for years. But the narrator had not seen her for years. She had suddenly turned up and renewed their contact. She came to narrator's house, met her mother, and turned up and renewed their contact. मतलब फिर से रिश्तेदारी बनाई, उसने जान पहचान बनाई थी. Since then she had come regularly. तब से वो डेली आती थी. Every time she leaves here and takes something home with her. हर बार जब भी वो आती थी अपने घर, यहाँ से कुछ न कुछ हमारे घर से लेके जाती थी. Said my mother. मतलब उसकी मदर उसको बता रही है कि मिसेस डॉर्लिंग बहुत दिनों तक तो मिली नहीं थी, लेकिन फिर जब उसने अपने कॉन्टेक्ट रिन्यू किए, मतलब जान पहचान बढ़ाई, और फिर जब भी आया करती थी कुछ ना कुछ हर बार वो अपने साथ में लेके जाया करती थी. शी टुक ऑल द टेबल सिल्वर इन वन गो. टेबल पे रखे हुए जितने भी सिल्वर की चीजें होती हैं, फोर्क्स वगैरह एक्सेट्रा, वो सब लेके जाती थी. एंड देन द एंटीक प्लेट्स दैट हंग देयर. She had trouble lugging those large vases, and I am worried she got a crick in her back from the crockery. मतलब इतना सारा लगेज इकट्ठा करके ले जाती थी, मुझे तो कभी कभी लगता था कि कहीं उसकी कमर में लचक ना आ जाए. My mother shook her head pityingly. मेरी मदर बड़ी दयनीय स्थिति में बोल रही थी, अपना सर हिला रही थी. I would never have dared ask her. She suggested it to me herself. नरेटर की मदर उसको बता रही है कि मेरी कभी उससे पूछने की हिम्मत नहीं हुई, उसने खुद ही मुझे ये सब चीजें सजेस्ट की है. और शी इवन इंसिस्टेड, उसने जिद करी थी बल्कि कि ये सब चीजें आप मेरे घर पे दे दो, क्योंकि वॉर चल रहा है, युद्ध चल रहा है, और यहाँ ये सब चीजें खत्म हो जाएंगी, मैं इनको संभाल के रखूंगी. शी वॉन्टेड टू सेव ऑल माई नाइस थिंग्स. इफ वी हैव टू लीव हेयर we shall lose everything. अगर हमें ये सब चीजें यहाँ छोड़नी पड़ी तो हम सब खो देंगे, वो ऐसा कहती है. Have you agreed with her that she should keep everything? I asked. तो मैंने अपनी माता से पूछा कि आप एग्री हो गई कि वो सब चीज अपने साथ ले जाए. As if that's necessary, my mother cried. मेरी मदर ने बोला, ऐसा जाहिर किया कि ये सब चीजें जरूरी भी थी बेटा. It would simply be an insult to talk like that. और मना करना तो इंसल्ट के बराबर होती. कोई हमें सजेस्ट कर रहा है भाई तुम्हारा सामान सुरक्षित रहेगा, नहीं तो युद्ध में खराब हो जाएगा, तो इंसल्ट होती अगर उसको मना करती. एंड थिंक अबाउट द रिस्क शी इज रनिंग ईच टाइम शी गोज आउट ऑफ आवर डोर विद अ फुल सूटकेस और बैग. तो नरेटर की मदर उसको ये बता रही है, अरे बेटा जरा उस लेडी को तो देखो जो इतना सामान ले जा रही है, रिस्क तो देखो, इतना भारी भरकम सूटकेस और बैग उठा के ले जा रही है, वो रिस्क भी तो ले रही है हमारे लिए, हमारे सामान के लिए. Well students, now answer the following questions. There are 4 questions. Read the questions. First understand the question. Then Watch the video again. If you don't understand anything, you can contact me. You can send your queries. Okay, students, and wait for the next video. That is very important, the second part of this chapter. Students, thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this channel and press the bell icon if not pressed. Students, one by one and slowly I will prepare important videos on this YouTube channel to make you understand more and more about grammar. Further, I will also explain many types of grammar topics like passive voice, indirect speech, prepositions, modals, etc. You will find more and more. Thank you. Have a nice day.